It's Valentine's Day, 2026. You're on a boat somewhere off the coast of Bali, one of the most beautiful places on Earth. The water is that impossible shade of turquoise. The sun is hitting everything just right. Your girlfriend is laughing, the kind of laugh you want to hear for the rest of your life. You're with friends. You're young, you have money, you have time. It's a moment that many have dreamed of, but you're really living it. Then your girlfriend takes out her phone, snaps a few pictures, and posts them to her Instagram to 200,000 followers, all of whom are about to see just how perfect your life looks right now. The caption, "Fuck 14th February, love you every day," and a black heart. People scroll past and smile. Cute couple, beautiful backdrop. Lucky them. But somewhere, someone else sees that post, and they're not smiling for the same reason. That is where our story begins, but it ends very differently. 11 days later, with a mutilated body scattered in pieces across the eastern coast of Bali. This is the Bali kidnapping case. The young man on that boat was 28-year-old Igor Komarov from Ukraine. His girlfriend, Yeva Mishalova, is a beauty and fashion influencer, working as a model and documenting her life in real time for her loyal social media following. Every trip, every meal, every sunset. The two of them, along with a group of friends, had traveled to Bali for a vacation. Warm, beautiful, seemingly far away from whatever troubles they had back home. And for one afternoon, it was exactly that. But Valentine's Day would be the last day things felt normal for Igor Komarov. The very next morning, February 15th, Igor and his friends were riding scooters through Jimbaran, a beachside district popular with Russian and Ukrainian tourists. According to local outlet Kumparan, the group of four had planned to head up to a hilly area to learn how to ride, and it was a casual plan, simple, low stakes. Then, out of nowhere, a black Toyota Avanza and two motorcycles appeared and pulled in tight around them, a coordinated convoy moving with military precision. One of the friends, Alexander Yermak Petrovsky, saw what was happening in time and managed to slip through before they fully closed in. And he survived. Igor wouldn't. One moment, Igor was riding a scooter in the Bali sunshine. The next, he was gone. One of the other friends noticed Igor had simply vanished mid-ride. When Alexander reported the incident to the police, investigators immediately pulled up CCTV footage from around the area and found footage of the same black Avanza alongside two motorcycles, transporting Igor to a luxury villa in Tabanan on Bali's Midwestern coast. But when officers arrived at the villa, it was completely empty. No people, just a phone, a bag believed to belong to Igor, and traces of blood. Before we go further, we should ask the question, who was Igor Komarov? And why would anyone go to this much trouble to take him? Igor was the son of Sergei Komarov, a powerful and very well-connected figure from Dnipro, Ukraine. A man whose name appeared regularly in local media due to his business influence and ties to political figures at the highest levels. Many reports also linked him to the criminal underworld. The media called him a mafia boss and a crime lord, though, for the record, he has never been convicted of any crime. Igor's friend, Alexander Yermak Petrovsky, the one who escaped, is said to be the son of another notorious figure, Alexander Narek Petrovsky, who has a similar reputation as Sergei Komarov. And with that context, suddenly, a romantic Valentine's Day Instagram post starts to look like it could be something else entirely. A breadcrumb trail, a gift to people who had already decided what they wanted to do with Igor Komarov. People who had been waiting for the right moment to find him somewhere far from home, somewhere isolated, somewhere he couldn't call in any favors. Yeva's post handed them exactly that, not just confirmation of the fact that he was in Bali, but his precise location within Bali, his itinerary, and the reassurance that he was relaxed and unsuspecting. And Yeva had even included a geolocation tag. Security experts have warned for years about the dangers of real-time posting. Igor's girlfriend, it seems, either didn't know or didn't take it seriously. Now, all of that could be chalked up to a tragic coincidence, but then the video arrived. In the days following Igor's disappearance, a disturbing clip began circulating through the Telegram channel MASH. Igor was barely recognizable. His face was swollen and covered with bruises. He had dried blood on his skin. His left arm ended not in a hand, but in a bandaged, bloody stump. The message was directed at his family, specifically his father. Igor stared into the camera and spoke for 3 full minutes with the careful, hollow tone of someone choosing every word under extreme duress. He said he was also force-fed drugs. In that monologue, Igor described the torture he had endured. His rib cage had been punched repeatedly. His legs were broken. Some of his limbs had been chopped off. He said the people holding him were connected to a Ukrainian criminal organization and had accused his father of having defrauded them, that Sergei Komarov had stolen $10 million from them, and that this was their way of collecting. The specifics of this supposed fraud are unknown. However, there have been unconfirmed allegations that the Komarov and Petrovsky families may have ties to fraudulent call centers. But here's where the story takes a different turn. A second video also circulated online. In that video, Igor himself appeared to confess that he personally ran a network of fraudulent call centers targeting Russian citizens, posing as bank security officers to steal their money. He was allegedly earning $15,000 a month from just one of them, all under the protection of Narek Petrovsky. So Igor may not have been just an innocent son caught in his father's whirls. He might have been a direct player in it. Though, of course, this confession was made under extreme duress, so we can't take it at full face value. Returning to the comments on his physical condition, Igor said something almost unbearable. An infection will start soon. I'm just dying. He told his parents not to mess with the organization holding him. Don't communicate with any other people, he said. No intermediaries, no law enforcement. He begged them to just settle the matter quietly, pay the money, and bring him home. He said he would give them everything. He just wanted to go home. Whether that call was ever answered, we don't know. What we do know is that whatever was said and done, it wasn't enough. On February 26, residents near Katewel Beach in the Gyeongnyur Regency noticed something along the shoreline that didn't belong there. The police were called, and what investigators found confirmed everyone's worst fears. They were human remains, scattered in parts across the area, a head, a torso, arms, and legs, all believed to belong to the same person. The body had clearly been there for several days before anyone had discovered it, and the damp condition of the area had accelerated decomposition, making visual identification nearly impossible. But investigators had one more lead to work with. Tattoos visible on the body parts led police to strongly suspect the remains were Igor's. 6 bone samples were extracted: a molar, a collarbone, a thigh bone, a rib, a finger, and a shin bone, and sent to the National Forensic Laboratory. All showed XY chromosomes, confirming the victim was male. And those 6 samples were then compared against the blood found inside the black Avanza that had been located. The blood found at the villa in Tabanan, and a DNA profile from Igor's mother, which was received on February 26, the same day the remains were found. And based on the kinship index calculation, the probability that the remains belonged to Igor Komarov was 99.99%. He had been abducted off a scooter in broad daylight, transported to a villa, held captive, tortured, and killed. He was just 28 years old. Now, who did this? Before the remains found on the beach were even confirmed to be Igor's, police had already found a significant lead. On February 23, a man, identified only as C, was arrested at a hotel in West Nusa Tenggara. Not for anything directly connected to the kidnapping, but for using a fake passport to rent vehicles. Specifically, a black Toyota Avanza and 2 motorcycles from a car rental business in the Badung area. C told investigators he had been paid 6 million rupiah, roughly $350 to rent those vehicles on behalf of other people using his name. He claimed he had no idea what the vehicles would be used for. When the police checked the records, they immediately recognized both the car and the registration number. It was the exact same vehicle seen in the CCTV footage from the day of the kidnapping. The GPS installed in the car showed this car had been present at precisely the location and time of Igor's abduction. From there, Bali police widened their search and identified 6 additional foreign suspects: RM, BK, AS, VN, SM, and DH, all believed to be linked to the case. All 6 were placed on a wanted list. Bali police rushed to track them down, requesting Interpol red notices to support a cross-border pursuit. There was a high possibility that 4 of the suspects had already fled to other parts of Indonesia, with the remaining 2 still believed to be hiding somewhere in Bali. Making the pursuit even more complicated, authorities revealed that these suspects allegedly entered Indonesia using multiple passports, some holding 2 or even 3 different identities, making it extremely difficult for investigators to verify even their primary citizenships. And an 8th suspect also emerged. According to a source close to the investigation who spoke anonymously to a news outlet, an Indonesian national had been arrested, not for participating directly in the kidnapping, but for issuing C's fraudulent passport. Details on this individual remain scarce. The investigation into Igor Komarov's case is still ongoing, and many questions remain unanswered. What drove this? There are theories. A Russian cybersecurity expert, Igor Bedrov, gave an interview to a Russian media outlet, in which he suggested that the killing may have been connected to an attempt to redistribute control of the fraudulent call center operations targeting Russian citizens, allegedly tied to the Komarov and Petrovsky families. Online, debate also turned to Yeva Mishalova. As an influencer, someone who had built an entire career on public visibility, many argued she should have known better than to post real-time location content and include a geotag when she was dating someone with alleged links to the criminal underworld. Some went further and suggested that the police should investigate her directly, claiming the Valentine's Day post was too convenient a coincidence to ignore. But to be absolutely clear, none of that has been confirmed. There is no official statement connecting Yeva to any wrongdoing. What we do know is how Yeva responded publicly. After Igor went missing, she posted an Instagram story of the 2 of them together from their Bali trip, writing, "I know for sure you will see it." Shortly after, she shared another clip of herself breaking down on camera, with the words, "I will be back when I have strength." Whatever the public may think of her role in the story, her grief, at least publicly, was visible. But the broader question her situation raises is one worth sitting with, because the risk of real-time posting isn't unique to people in Igor's world. It's a warning that security experts have been issuing for years. And in this case, one sunny, happy, completely innocent-looking Instagram post may have been the first link in a chain that ended with the torture and murder of a young man. This recent case has cast a shadow over Bali, but it definitely isn't the first time the paradise of the island has been the scene of something much darker. After COVID-19, Indonesia's government opened its doors wide to international tourism to support the local economy. But instead of simply stabilizing the economy, the island began to be slowly occupied by international buyers snapping up property. And the number of crimes involving foreign nationals rose by 45% in 2025 alone. One of the most shocking cases was the murder of 32-year-old Vivan Radmanovic, an Australian national. In 2025, the Bali District Court convicted 3 of his fellow Australians, Mevlut Chashkun, Paea I Middlemore Tupou, and Darcy Jensen, in connection with his death. Radmanovic wasn't supposed to die that night. He was in Bali to celebrate hhis wife Jasmine Gordea's birthday. Just the 4 of them, Jasmine, her sister's partner Sanar Ghanim, and Vivan. They were staying at a villa with a perfect view, celebrating together, singing, laughing, and dancing. But the joy wasn't to last. In the middle of the night on June 14th, 2 masked gunmen barged into the villa and opened fire. The shots weren't random. The gunmen had a specific target in mind. Vivan was hit and killed. Sanar was shot and beaten, but survived. Jasmine hid under the bed covers. Her sister immediately ran outside, screaming for help. When Chashkun and Tupou were arrested first and questioned, they initially claimed Vivan's death was purely coincidental, not intentional, they said, just part of the chaos of the night. But if his death was an accident, then who was the real target? During the trial, both men confessed to the shooting and revealed they had been sent and paid by an Australian man whose identity they refused to give up. The goal was to threaten Sanar, who owed that man a significant sum of money. Tupou told the court he had entered the wrong room, mistook Vivan for Sanar, and then Vivan came at him with something in his hand. He said he had no choice but to shoot. 3 gunshot wounds, fatal. Chashkun, for his part, told the court he had been offered money and a free trip to Bali simply to threaten someone, and that by the time he realized the full scale of what he had agreed to, he felt he was in too deep, particularly after being instructed to pick up the handgun he would use. The 3rd man, Jensen, was found to have provided the logistics for the entire operation, organizing the vehicle used to reach and leave the villa, and arranging accommodation for the 2 shooters. Both Chashkun and Tupou offered apologies to Jasmine and her family in court. She was unmoved by their words. She wanted the maximum possible sentence, and under Indonesian law, premeditated murder can carry the death penalty. The prosecution pushed for 18-year sentences for the 2 shooters. The sentences handed down were 16 years each for Chashkun and Tupou and 12 years for Jensen. The reaction was swift and sharp. Jasmine's legal team publicly stated that the sentence revealed a deeply worrying gap between the severity of the act and the punishment imposed. They pointed out that while previous firearms attacks had occurred in Bali, this was on an entirely different level, a highly brutal, organized, premeditated operation. Sentencing the perpetrators of such a crime to only a dozen years, they argued, gave Indonesia a bad image and sent the wrong message to the world, that Indonesia is willing to compromise when it comes to illegal use of firearms. Such a message, they said, that might taint Indonesia's name forever. The judge, for his part, stated the sentence reflected Vivan's role as his family's breadwinner, and the fact that his family had not forgiven the perpetrators for their loss. The sentence stood. And so Bali finds itself at a crossroads, an island of extraordinary beauty, one referred to as the Island of Gods, a place millions of people dream about, now carrying a growing weight of violent crime. An island where tourists continue to arrive in record numbers, and where, in recent years, some visitors have brought with them a darkness the island was never prepared for. Igor Komarov's case is still unfolding. Suspects are still being hunted across international borders. The full picture, whatever it looks like, hasn't been revealed yet, and all we can do is wait. But this much is already clear. A 28-year-old man flew to Bali for a holiday. His girlfriend posted a picture on Instagram with a geotag, and somewhere on the other side of the screen, someone who had been looking for him finally knew exactly where he was. It's the banality of how it started. A boat, a blue sky, a post that 200,000 people scrolled past without a second thought, and one person who didn't. That is all for today. Thanks for watching.